What's up, guys? Welcome back,
Oh,
Doc.
man. One of our favorites is back.
Dr. Elliot Justin.
It's great to be back.
Love it.
And I've always enjoyed talking to the guys because the conversations are, irreverent's a fun word, but they're
It's a
candid.
fun word. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my daughter, and I say my daughter because my wife, she hears she say our daughter. But she's, my wife always says my son or my daughter. Like,
Right. But when you say it, it's like, fuck off. What are you saying? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The hell are you talking about? You didn't carry him in your vagina.
I was here too.
Yeah.
Anyway, our daughter has a sign on her desk at work that says, "If you knew my parents, you'd understand."
That's fucking great.
And our current, again, I have to like it. I don't know what you guys think about it. It's not, that's not the point. Chris Wright is our current energy secretary. And I met him years ago, and we were good friends. And Chris never listened to this, so it's not. But here's the anecdote about Chris, public figure. It's just between us guys.
Just because.
Years ago, I worked on something I called Project O, which was an attempt to neuromodulate human sexuality, like pacemaking human sexuality.
Oh, wow.
And had an electrode implanted by a surgeon friend of mine, urology, bimucodental and cavernous nerves, everyone's two favorite nerves. The nerves are responsible for arousal and climax in men and women. Thinking that if we could pacemake human sexuality, that would be extremely powerful, especially in an aging population, or even just for fun. Turn it on, turn it off. And I felt nothing. I called it Project O. And I was at Chris Wright's house. This is before COVID. I think he had two kids. His daughter was like a sophomore in college, and his son was maybe a junior in high school. And I was telling them about Project O. And afterwards, Chris Wright took me aside and said, "Elliot, do you have any filters?" And I said, "Yeah, but they have really big pores, Chris."
They got really big. Yeah.
You never invite me to dinner again.
Yeah, of course. That's weird. Huh? Well, it's funny. We opened our last show up with the sex therapist kind of the same way. We're like, I don't know why everybody's so fucking squeamish about talking about this stuff. It's like we all have it. Like
puritanical religion.
It's a whole situation. I don't know. So it's always awesome to be able to crack this thing open with people like yourself doing this kind of work. And by the way, before we go any further, can we just finish that conversation? You have 150,000 erections now. Like what?
We've documented 156,000 erections.
Yeah,
all yours.
All yours. Jesus Christ, you're a busy guy.
There's this guy Tom XXX.
Yeah.
Half of them no, it's on. So we sold about 4,000 tech rings.
Wow.
And, 22,000 rings without tech. So the tech rings, over 3,000 men use it enough that we feel we have sufficient data on them. I mean, there are guys who buy it, use it once or twice. The reality is, if you're normal and you're a young guy, like you,
you don't really need it. Yeah.
Once you see you're normal, well, just check it. Check it once in a while. But normal data is valuable. I mean, if I go to the doctor and my electrocardiogram is normal, I don't think this is a waste of time. No, I feel good. If I go to the doctor and get a stress test, as I have at my age, and I'm going to be 73 next month, and the test is normal, it's like, hey, that's great. Normal data is great, but so we have about 3,000 men who've recorded at least 6 times, and 2,000 men who recorded dozens of times. And then there's this hardcore guys who are really into their data, like 300.
You got super users.
It's like every day. Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on. I mean, most of those, those guys break down to 2 groups. The men will recover from prostate surgery, and it's valuable for them to get They want to know, because it can take years to recover sexual function. But once a man starts to recover his nocturnal erections, which takes about 4 or 5 months, and you can only see it with our device, then they realize I can now start trying to have sex. I can now, or I can now figure out what works best for me. Is it pumping? Is it pills? Is it both? Or pelvic floor exercise? Men can now use our device to say, what's putting more blood into my nocturnal erection? So I can start having sex erections. So
that's awesome.
But then there are guys who they're just guys who did their data. And
data's king
all the time.
Yeah. I mean,
and what guy is not into his dick? It's like, seems like a slam dunk. That's chocolate in the peanut butter,
Yeah.
But we've had men get cardiac catheterizations because of the data. The data's
he saved lives.
We've had 2 men one guy had an adrenal tumor.
Wow.
And
how did that show up in the data?
He was a young guy too. He was in his late 20s. I think he was 20 years old. Unable to perform. And not able to perform the way he had when he met his wife like 6-7 years before. They wanted to have a kid, and the guy was not performing. His wife found out about us from a podcast. I'd like to say it was yours, but I don't want to call which podcast it was.
Yeah,
but, we'll go that story from now on.
We'll take credit for it.
Yeah, it's definitely our podcast. Yeah.
His wife listened to Irreverent Health, and she bought him the tech ring, and like a lot of guys, he's I don't want to do it. The story she told me was that, well, she said, look, if I give you a blowjob, will you?
Yeah.
And
the answer is obviously yes.
Guys are guys, heck.
Yeah, there's not much. There's not much a blowjob doesn't convince a guy.
So Tom, he had one nocturnal erection per night, and it was a 4 or 5 in strength. Now, a guy his age should be having like 5 a night. They should be lasting 35 minutes. They should be 8 to 10 in strength.
35 minutes a piece, or 35 minutes kind of, wow.
A healthy nocturnal erection, 25 to 35 minutes.
I mean, if I'm a healthy dude, am I spending most of my night hard? Like, that's like a lot of minutes. Like, it's a lot.
And this was not known until,
until you measured it. Yeah.
Because in the past, the device that was used in the 1990s called the Radiscan. This is something Dr. Frankenstein put in your dick. And you had to lie still. You couldn't roll. You had electrodes going into a box. And they were looking at men who had significant disease. But one of the things that makes our device valuable is that most of the men buying our device they actually don't have erectile dysfunction. They're actually normal, but they don't know it. Here's one of the big things I like to discuss, which is, especially for your listeners, if you think you have ED, it's highly likely you don't have ED. Why is that? Because it's been misdefined by the International Society for Sexual Medicine defines erectile dysfunction as follows. Think about this. It's almost like a money-making con, but it's not. I don't be that cynical about it, but there's a money.
We'll do it for you.
The negative effect is if you have ED, it's kind of shaming. People are embarrassed. They go online, they get pills, and the pills can be masking. They could actually have a major problem. And the pills can mask it. And on the other hand, makes obviously saying it makes money for doctors. Hey, if you got ED, now I can have regular visits with you, and the insurance company will pay for it, and you get medications. Insurance pharma loves that too. So here's the misdefinition. International Society for Sexual Medicine says erectile dysfunction is inability to achieve an erection,
right,
or the inability to maintain an erection. Well, those are two totally different groups, because the guys who can't achieve an erection or struggle to achieve an erection, they're not getting enough blood in their dick, and that's usually due to a significant cardiovascular problem. Your heart's not pumping enough blood. You got angina, congestive heart failure. You got a heart problem, and/or usually your pipes, your arteries to your dick are getting narrower from diabetes, hypertension, or atherosclerosis. That's about 12-13% of men. They struggle to get an erection. They can't attain an erection.
It's a fucking jaw-droppingly large number. I got to be honest. I'm a little like, 12% of men. That's a lot of men.
It's a lot of men.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
And our device can tell which men got it and which men don't have it. But the vast majority of men don't have it. Now we're talking about the 85% plus. What's their problem? So they can't maintain an erection. They're getting blood in. So that's not dysfunction. To my mind, dysfunction should be if you can't get it up. If anyone on this, or anyone listening to your show right now struggles to get it up consistently, not just because you're drunk or because you don't like the lady you're partying with, if you struggle to get it up, especially yourself, it's highly likely to have a cardiovascular or metabolic diabetic.
Wow.
But the vast majority of men get it up. You don't have ED. You're getting it up. And the question is, why is it going down when you don't want to go down? Well, obviously, confidence, performance anxiety is probably the number one reason. But it could be lots of factors. It could be, I'm worried about paying the mortgage. I think my wife is cheating on me. Maybe I shouldn't have had that third cocktail, or I shouldn't have stayed out till 1 o'clock in the morning, or
I have an adrenal tumor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So we doctors prescribe pills too, blood pressure medications, antidepressants that impact the ability of people to sustain an erection.
Right.
But if you're getting blood in, the major focus of therapy should be to keep blood in. Now the pills, Viagra, the brand names, Viagra, Cialis, tadalafil, sildenafil, put blood in. They don't keep it there. So what can keep blood in there? Only a ring. Our ring, of course, is the best.
Yeah, of course.
So there's no way to, I guess, tone the
the veins and the backflow from there.
So now, yeah, let's talk about that. So for these guys, they shouldn't. You don't have ED. You got a problem that can be addressed in the vast majority of time. Now the venous, so it's called venous leak. So, right now,
they didn't work too hard for that name, huh?
Look, man, everything in Western medicine is so fucking confusing. They go Greek randomly.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like
all the Latin. Yeah, let this one be easy.
Yeah.
Hey, but they got to take it even further. Let's call it VLS, venous leak syndrome. Hey, I got VLS.
Yeah. Because that sounds like a commercial.
Well, that'll be, and once there's a drug for it, believe me, they'll be calling that, and you'll have millions of men getting pills.
So what do the doctors do? We'd like to go where we can help people, but also where we can make money. So if it comes to assessing your heart and your arteries, I got blood tests, I got imaging tests, I got interventional radiology. I can work that up, and that's really valuable for 12-13% of men who have a problem on that side. But for that other vast majority of men on the venous side, there's no money made. There are no pills. The only thing that works is a ring. And doctors in fact, most of them are too, in Tom's words, puritanical to even talk about rings. But these guys don't have ED. I'm at war with the word ED. I think it's been imposed upon us by people who are frankly insensitive to men. We don't call women frigid, anorgasmic, or sterile, or cold anymore. Try that out.
Yeah. Anymore. Little asterisk there. Anymore. We haven't done that
since the 70s.
Before you were born, Tom. What were you in diapers, Tom? Matt was in the sandbox. You were in diapers back then.
Yeah, we're like, hey, Matt's like 4 or 5 months older than me. Yeah.
And so the answer for these men is you take a pill, put more blood in it, but put a ring on it. So we've done, there've been we've done one study, but there are 2 independent studies looking at the time it takes for an erection to go down to climax. Because the longer it takes for erection to go down to climax, the more blood that's been held in the penis. The more blood that's held in the penis, the harder you are, the more sensitive it is to, for pleasure. In the studies, comparing it to 10 milligrams of tadalafil, it was as effective, if not more effective, than tadalafil. But both together was the best.
Biggest benefit.
And these studies were done in men without ED. And the takeaway for all men is, if you want women have vibrators, you got pills and you got rings, and use them. I got into rings for the data, and then realized that I had fixed the cock ring problem. We men get no attention. We get saddled with all these phrases like erectile dysfunction, toxic masculinity, porn addiction. I hate is you guys heard about the death grip?
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
The death grip.
Yeah.
Why is it that my wife's hand is a love grip and my hand's a death grip? Can you explain it to me, Matt? Well,
mostly because it's a good TikTok meme that you can get a nice viral story around. Yeah.
And their therapy is directed at, we need to train men to not like their hand. Good luck with that, anyone out there.
Yeah. But you know what? Look, I can get on a soapbox about this kind of this rabbit hole is like deeper, I think, because it's like anything that you could make a story out of where there is not a story, we are going to make a story out of.
Well, you give it a clever name, you make it sound like an overwhelmingly huge problem, and then all of a sudden people are, getting their little dopamine fix, leaning into it.
So let's get back to the venous leak, though. So as we get older, blood leaves our penis faster. I'm going to speak for Matt and Tom and every guy listening. When you're 12 years old, a girl gives you a peck on the cheek, you hold her hand for 2 minutes, and you get a hard on for an hour and a half. By the time you're 25, it doesn't happen anymore. When you're 25, you can probably still have 3 or 4 orgasms a day. At my age, maybe 1 or 2, maybe, and I'm an outlier. It's really we men deteriorate in our 20s. And in
that's depressing.
It is depressing.
As a guy who's knocking on 50 right now, I'm like,
that's kind of that is like, kind of sad, man.
Yeah, like wow,
So, anyway, so we things, and why is that? As we get older, the smooth muscle around us, our small veins, the venules, gets weaker, and the only way, by the way, exercise that smooth muscle, you can't work it out in the gym. That's skeletal muscle. The only way to ever get out is to have sex.
Jeez, I think I got to lay that onto my wife a little
so
heavier.
You're saying death grip is not a fix, huh? Yeah, death grip is not a fix. Okay,
yeah. Well, the death grip. Again, my wife and I laugh about it all the time. It's like, her hand's a low grip and my hand's a death grip. I don't understand that. But you have to exercise smooth muscles. I mean, and frequent sex has all sorts of benefits. I mean, if you have sex, if an orgasm a day can decrease your cortisol level, your stress hormone level by up to 50%.
That's nuts. Really? That high?
Men who have sex over the age of 70, it's probably true for younger men as well too, but in one big study, men who have sex 3 times a week or over 70 versus men who have sex less than 2 or 3 times a month have half the risk of sudden cardiac death over the next decade. Well, you're going to die anyway, but you're going to, that's a huge change. And we know that huge change. Couples in committed relationships, married in a committed relationship, couples that have sex 3 times a week have half the divorce rate of couples that have sex less than 3 times a month. Think about the impact upon mental health, cardiovascular health, because sex has all sorts of benefits throughout your body, but also the impact upon your kids. Because we know that if a marriage or partnership is successful, the kids are less likely to not finish high school, less likely to do drugs, less likely to join gangs, more likely to finish college and have a higher income. Heck, just by fucking, you can make your kids rich. So or richer.
How the hell did they even make that correlation? That one's crazy. Is it just because they model after the parents' relationship and the strength of it?
Well, that's part of it. The divorce. And I know successful single parenting. I'm not, but we know that divorce has a profound negative impact upon the individuals involved, their mental and cardiovascular. They live less long. So a man who's been divorced has a higher risk of having a heart attack.
That's usually because all the dumb shit his ex-wife had him stop doing. He now picks up again.
He goes right back.
Yeah. He's like, fuck that bitch. I'm eating 8 steaks
vegetables.
a day.
I bought a motorcycle.
Yeah, right. I bought a motorcycle and a fucking Corvette.
I'm paying for a 20-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, nothing weird about that.
So, and the impact upon children in terms of alcohol, drugs, finishing school, and a higher income. There are multiple studies in multiple countries establishing that correlation. I'm not saying people shouldn't get divorced. And you should definitely, if you're not having sex for 30 years, like you just said.
You should definitely get divorced in some cases. Yeah.
So anyway, hey, I would like RFK Jr. sometime to say, look, I have a cost-free, it's not cost the American taxpayer any money, I have a cost recommendation to improve everyone's health and improve the health of the family. I'd like every American to make an effort to have sex at least 3 times a week. I
mean, I would like to start espousing this as close as my wife. Like that seems like a great message to spread.
Yeah, the message starts at home.
This message, it should all start at home, guys. Like, But it all makes sense. I mean, look, when we get into like longevity and stuff, I mean, there's all these studies on like sense of community and friends and human to human relationship. You're just saying the same thing with this. It's like, hey, oh, by the way, if I'm fucking somebody 3 times a week, that means I'm close enough to somebody to fuck them 3 times a week, right? Like, I mean,
and there are benefits to that as well too,
right? It's not surprising. It's good validation, but not at all surprising. I don't think. No,
not at all. Yeah.
So I got a different question for you because I just want to like do a hard pivot here. Pun maybe.
We gotta get to this.
I'm not sure. Yeah. But like everybody comes on the show. We're great citizens of their world afterwards, right? We subscribe to newsletters. We like kind of keep in touch. We try to connect guests with guests when it makes sense. And you send this email. And I'm just going about my day. It's like, and you're like, I'm speaking at like, I don't know what it was. You'll correct me here in a second, but it was like International Sex Therapy with Robots or something. I'm like, what the fuck
Sex and Robots.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is this dude doing?
Wait, it was literally called Love, Sex, and Robots? After
No
the
fucking way.
cartoon series that was like amazing. Have you seen that?
I've not seen the cartoon series. I've heard of it, but yes, it's a conference that's held every year in Montreal, Canada.
Wow.
And
That is
the idea is
even funnier than the email. Yeah.
Wow.
So, that was an interesting conference because most of the people there are academics who are focused on, the impact of robots upon sexual behavior. But they're getting grant money, and the grants are, hey, I hope they invite me back next year, but the grants are so stupid. Like things like, why aren't robots being made for the furries? Or why is it that?
Wait, hold on. Wait. They're giving money for that?
Why am I in the wrong business? I should just be
Why don't I have money?
Yeah.
This is taxpayer money too.
I'll ask these questions.
Yeah, I have no problem getting deep with this.
Several of these people, were presenting papers. Two of them, I don't exaggerate. Two of the researchers were complaining about the insensitivity of the robot industry. And we're talking about robots. We're talking really primitive. We're talking about porn star like plastic bodies that vibrate and talk, and they say dumb things.
That sounds right.
Men love them.
Yeah.
So, but again, there's a market for this. So they want to know how come this market is insensitive to people of color and to people of beyond.
Is that a thing? Are the robots racist? I didn't know this.
Well,
no, or they're not making them to look.
Because the robots are made in China. Like China owns the market here.
Okay.
No surprise. And the robots in general are just white women with different colored hair.
Okay.
I mean, think 1950s Playboy model kind of figures.
Okay.
Take me back there, guys, by the way.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I raised my hand after listening to this for a while. So, do you know what it costs to make a mold? I mean, do you really this is not, as test you guys said, this is not a huge market. If you're going to sell 10,000 robots a year, maybe 5,000 robots a year, and the people who are buying them largely want to buy a blonde with big tits and a big ass.
Yeah.
Why would you
make anything else? Yeah.
Furry. And the other complaint was, this woman showed images of the black dolls, and they look so savage. Well, they have exaggerated features. That's the best thing with robots. These people who are buying them, are buying not a normal looking robot, a humanoid. They're buying some exaggerated figure, and so it's just. I said, just changing the mold be $100,000. So how many robots are you going to sell?
It has to be worth it. Yeah.
But that's not something we get into here, right? People are like, oh, there's this thing, so we need to bitch about the dumbest part of that thing. Otherwise, it's, what am I doing?
Here's the problem with robots, in my mind, because a lot of the talk at the conference, when it was not about the issue I just discussed, was like, how are these, what's going to happen to, and I think this is a genuine problem. Robots are going, robots could be a lot more appealing to people for sex, especially, than humans, because they know what you want.
Sure.
There's no negotiating with a robot. But then the larger issue, as what I raised in my talk was, because I was talking about the sexual health benefits of robots, is that it goes way beyond. The robot could be telling, hey, Tom, no carbohydrates for you today. Tom, I warned you.
It'll analyze your semen.
I'm not going to suck your dick if you ate that hamburger.
Matt, get back on the Peloton right now. Matt.
Yeah, right.
Mac. The robots, and not but the robots know everything about you. They know your taste in politics, art, music. They know more about yourself than you do because they're generative. They're learning from from you. Right? I'm a really good cook, but I don't have 1,000 recipes memorized. I cooked 1,000 things in my life. The robot will know. Will know that the robot will
Michelin
know,
level cook. Yeah, I mean,
the robots ultimately become an ultimate partner, way beyond anything that a partner could offer. The only obstacle, to my mind, to making this leap to my mind, unfortunate, dangerous leap to robots as the ultimate companions is they haven't figured out the haptics yet. Haptics are the feelies, like in Brave New World, where and when they figure out the haptics, you don't even need a physical robot. because with generative AI and virtual reality, you'll be in that other reality, and that's, I find it to be disturbing. That to my mind, it's the end of the human race.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? I don't disagree with you. Like the most of me says I'm in alignment with you, but like the technologist in me and the podcast host in me and the just general curious guy in me, art student, all of those pieces, is super fascinated with that, because like you're not wrong. Like the joke I was going to make is I already got a robot to tell me to get back on the Peloton. It's my wife. Yeah, like I already got one of those. I don't need another. I don't need to buy another one of those.
I almost feel like, do you want it in every part of your life, or do you just, do you
remember a movie from the 80s, though, Cherry 3000? We've already talked about this.
Was that Molly Ringwald?
I don't know if it was somebody I thought with red hair. I don't know if it was Molly Ringwald, but it's an old movie, right? And
it was a shitty movie. It was a really horrible movie.
And this guy aged.
Molly Ringwald was in it, and you thought she was hot.
And it was sex robot. It was about a sex robot.
Well, it started as a sex robot, then it turned into a companion bot that he grew old and died with, even though she was obviously not aging, right? And it opened up, like, everyone back then was like, "Oh, that's fucking weird," but. That's like actually like a real possibility right now. Like, I mean, these robots are getting.
It's not a possibility. It's an inevitability.
No. So that's where I was going, right? Like, if it can be made and there's a portion of the population that is like, you know what, I'm too ugly to date. I think I'm too ugly to date. I am too ugly to date. Like, whatever the reason is. And you have a robot that's as hot as you need it to be, and it'll do everything for you, including clean your house and then come give you a blowjob. Like, that's a compelling argument. I'm not going to lie. Like, I mean, that is a compelling argument.
Do you leave that to your kids in the will? That seems a little weird.
Right. Like, who gets
dad's sex robot?
Yeah.
Your kids, unfortunately, will have their own. They'll have their
right. Everyone's like,
I think for hygiene and just the weirdness of it, I think that's probably a good thing.
I think in Japan, it's estimated there are close to 2 million people right now whose primary relationship was with a virtual reality companion. I'm talking about sex right now. That's part of it.
Just the actual relationship.
In the United States, it's about double that.
Wow.
So this little funly named trade show in Montreal, like, is actually hitting on a real situation.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, and that's kind of like what I was curious about, like, from you've got a lot of your career that has already happened, right? Like, so you've seen an evolution that's different than somebody who's maybe getting out of med school today, right? And so, like, if you look at that perspective, I'm wondering if the doctors to be that are in like elementary school right now, right, when they get to be doctors and this has kind of matured a little bit, I wonder if this becomes part of like everyday diagnostics. Like, oh, so do you have, how long have you had your robot?
By the way, thanks for bringing the conversation back from sex robots to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
My goal, Matt and Tom, for what the data that we're generating about erectile and cardiovascular health, my goal is for that to become a standard of care.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, in the United States or anywhere in the world, if you're 50 years old and you're getting a physical, Matt, if you went to or Tom, if you guys went into a doctor to hey, I want to know the status of my health right now, and they said, Matt, you look great, man. Come back 5 years. You would think, what the fuck is this, 1900? You're going to check my electrocardiogram, get an
do something,
blood tests, establish some baselines. Maybe I'm okay now. I'd like to have a baseline established so I can then look for deviations, from that baseline. So, right now we have 9 or 10 published papers. There'll be another 5 or 6 this year. My goal is to insinuate this into the medical school curriculums and into the standard of care of practice for family doctors and urologists around the world. And I think it'll take me 3 to 5 years to accomplish that.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty quick, actually.
Matt, right now, PD5 medication, Viagra sales, it's just, hey, guys, take a pill. Guys, go online. You go, I hope they're listening. You go to Get Row or Hims or any of those online services, and you answer one of those questionnaires, you're getting a product, whether you actually need that product or not.
Right. All roads lead to you getting a subscription.
Right.
This is more, my doctor may not give it to me, but I know online will.
You got it. Right. Or it's embarrassing to talk to my doctor.
Yeah.
So I want to, but the reality is, like with Viagra or Cialis, depending on that one, But what's the right dose for you? It could be that Matt benefits from 10 and Tom from 20 and Elliot needs 5 or whatever. We don't know because we have no way of measuring, other than with our technology, what's going on with blood flow into the penis. We rely upon people's subjective reporting. And that's I don't want.
Yeah, well, that's not useful at all. How do you figure your goal, which I think is great, but like, here's my let me just ask a more pragmatic question. Like, how do you figure you can get that into the lexicon? Because like right now, there's a million things that are unique that we never had before that are out that I could also throw into the group of we should all be doing this. Like the one I talk about on the show the most is the Grail test, right? I've taken that. You talked about like normal results are good. I paid $800 to find out I don't have cancer. Best fucking day of my life. Like, I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing. Like, I fucking, right? Nice. But the question I always ask is, why the fuck isn't this already on my physical? Like, it's 2 extra vials of blood. I'm already getting 7 taken for my lipid panel. Why the fuck can't you just take a couple more and let's fucking get this done? I don't know the answer to these questions, but like if I started to tap it all in, right? Like it's like, all right, I got my dick ring and I've got my blood test and I've got this and I have this. Just spend the whole fucking life in a doctor's office, right? Like,
well, no. I think this is and God, man, you just sent me the thing. You now are using Chat Health. You know, I think what happens is this all ports right into AI. And then maybe it flags you, maybe it flags your primary, maybe it tells you, hey, you gotta make an appointment at your cardiologist.
Yeah,
I think that's the streamlined version of it.
I literally just last night got off the wait list for the Chat Health thing, and it just because obviously for obvious reasons I'm curious about that. But it is interesting because they've got a whole different set. I don't know if you've looked into this, probably not because it's really new, but I don't know, maybe
I haven't.
You can plug devices directly into that stream and it's walled off. It doesn't backfeed for training data. They don't store it. And all the safeguards are very different. Allegedly, I get it. Yeah. But I mean, dude,
it's probably anonymized, but go ahead.
Yeah. It probably anonymized, but here's the thing. Like, you can't spend your whole life in a conspiracy theory. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, if somebody says we're not tracking this to a degree, I have to be like, all right, fine. Let's just assume that that's semi-true, right? I guess. But it's an interesting thing because now you've got a world-class physician team in your pocket at all times, right? So something's happening. I got my dick ring going. I got my Aura ring going. I got my Apple Health going. I've got my, whatever going, workouts, yada, yada.
Well, that's why why the research is so important because AI sucks up the research.
Mm-hmm.
And also, what we want is to, I want to make men's sexual health objective and personal because we're all different. We're all, we're all an N of one.
N of one. We say that all the time here, man.
And a smart wearable allows us to assess things as an N of one. It's a slog. I wish. I mean, the American Urology Association is really resistant to changing its standards. So is the International Society for Sexual Medicine. Think about it. The International Society for Sexual Medicine has this. I didn't finish the definition. The definition was inability to achieve an erection, difficulty to maintain erection. 2 totally different groups that don't belong together. Well, the last part of that is or to have satisfactory intercourse. What the heck does satisfactory mean?
Yeah, what is that bar?
Quantify that one, guys.
What yardstick are you using?
Right.
And is it ours? Is it ours or is it our partners?
Yeah. And then, exactly. Yeah.
I felt good. She did not.
Yeah, and it's kind of a buzzkill when she lets you know, right? You're like,
yeah.
You're in a post-orgasmic stupor, Tom, and she's like, "You're done."
Basal drain.
Right.
Can you go
Venous
in my top drawer and
fast.
get me?
Honey, you have venally drained me. Thank you. I appreciate that.
The last word is intercourse. Well, if you talk to men and women over the age of 45, 50, who are in a committed relationship, intercourse ain't what they're. Intercourse is it should actually be part of the foreplay. They're coming to oral sex, to vibrator, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
And not the death grip again tonight.
Not the death grip.
Anyway, so it's mystifying. To get that definition changed, I'll probably die before they change the definition.
Mm-hmm.
But to get testosterone prescriptions linked to data, that's doable. And we are in 2 months. You guys can be part of the pilot project if you want. We're going to do a pilot in late February to the end of March. I don't know whether you guys take it to or not, but we are going to make testosterone dosing objective. So right now, if you go to a doctor in the United States and you want testosterone, for one thing, getting a testosterone, getting a free T blood drawn should be part of the standard of care. It's not. That's one of my goals.
Concierge doc, you can check that box. I've got like a couple things they test.
Yeah, you know, now, and Matt and I normally say this off the air. I got somebody I think you need to talk to, because I think where you're going with this, we've got a company that is largely in the HRT for men space.
So the doctor is supposed to ask 3 questions. How's your energy? How's your sleep? And how's your libido? Well, everyone wants more energy. I don't need more. Actually, I have a lot of energy, but most everyone wants more energy. Everyone would like to sleep better, and no one knows what the fuck libido even means. So, our approach to it is different. Our approach to it is to get men to quantify 3 parameters. So we're making it objective. Yeah, I want your testosterone, your free T, and I want to target those numbers, not just because the other thing the doctors do is like, oh, your T is average. I don't want to be average. I want to be a top 15%. So we'll target that. But here's how we answer the questions. So I'll start with libido. How often a week are you initiating sex? And how often a week are you receptive to sex? And by the way, men struggle with receptivity. If a man has lost his confidence, he'll make a bullshit excuse not to have sex. Women are more receptive. They got to put up with us. I've got 3 guys I'm taking care of right now, and they're younger than you guys. These guys are in their early 40s who have T's of like old men, my age or older, and they're initiating sex 2 or 3 times a month. Their wives want more sex than they do, and with testosterone, I've been able to move them to initiating sex 2 or 3 times a week. Wow, that's really powerful. So there's initiation.
So yeah, what's this study then?
So we'll look at 3 parameters.
Okay,
initiation. I want to measure muscle. Now you can go into a gym and get a bioimpedance measurement, but you can also, if you're going to start on testosterone, put a tape measure on your biceps, around your pecs. It's really simple. And then are you gaining muscle? So, and I gained about 10-15% upper body strength from testosterone. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Really,
that's great.
Jump.
And that's the major reason why I take it. Because I'm an older guy. We lose muscle, and I want to gain muscle. So those 2 parameters, and then I want to follow someone's nocturnal erection parameters as well too. Are your erections at night lasting longer? Are they firmer? So now I can target my testosterone at 4 things: those 3 parameters, and then to try to get your blood levels up to the 85th percentile or better for you. So that's the study. We're going to the study is going to right now, again, if I go to Row or Hims or any of the online services, I'm getting T. Because I'm gonna say, hey, my energy sucks. I got brain fog, and my libido, it just ain't what it used to be. Whose isn't?
And now all of a sudden
I want to make dosing objective, and we will do a large study. I'm looking for 55 test subjects. You guys can email me if you want to be in it. Email me.
Yeah, look, I'm interested. I might as well. Yeah.
I love the idea, because we actually had somebody else recently on the show talking about testosterone in particular, and a couple things that I didn't really know out of that. Well, I did know, but like this whole scare tactic or scare component of cancer and T replacement, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a big
prostate cancer.
Yeah, and I don't know. He seemed pretty legit. I did some back of the envelope stuff.
Might I ask, who is he?
Ryan Root.
Yeah, Ryan Root is his name. Yeah, his episode hasn't aired yet. That's why I was like, I paused for a second. I'm like, shit, have we published it yet?
What is his website? It's like Hormones to Me or something like that.
Yeah, Hormones for Me, I think it is. But he actually had a lot of empirical data on this and really dug into the removal of the black box warning on these things.
Which is funny, because it was never about testosterone anyway. It was specifically about Primpro and Premarin.
Most is now felt that prostate is not, giving testosterone is not a risk factor unless your PSA is,
is already elevated. Yeah.
As far as the testosterone in the heart, there really isn't any the data is not good. But, on the other hand, so many men are taking it. I think we'd have signals right now. If it really did cause an increased risk of heart attacks, as was thought back in the 70s and 80s.
Well, he was talking about getting your T levels into like the low 1,000, right?
Yeah,
like, I mean,
he was like, look, you can go up to 15. We kind of want to get everybody around 9 to 1,200 or something.
Well, if you look at the data of men who are taking really high testosterone, I mean, like the levels of 1,200, 1,300 in that range. The studies will have 20 men in them. They're not significant.
Right.
The sample size is way too small. Yeah.
I'll talk about myself, and I'll talk about. I'm going to respond anecdotally to that, which is less scientific. I'll talk about myself, and I'll talk about 3 guys I've given testosterone to where we've gotten high. I'm an asshole. If I go above 1,000 or 1,200, I'll just tell my wife to shut the fuck up. Maybe it's like a truth serum. I don't know. But But
okay, so you're not letting your wife listen to this one, huh?
Yeah. He's like, she's actually sitting right next to me.
She's actually
she's got a death grip on my penis as we speak.
She's looking for something heavy.
She'll tell me you're getting too high. And actually, I try to keep myself around right now about 800, 850. My doctor would like to keep me at 600, but I don't. I feel this subjective. I feel I'm stronger and more alert when I'm up around 800, 900. That's subjective.
But
I have 2 other men, though, that I was doing testosterone to, who admitted to me when I saw the levels, I would just tell them the dose. Because guys will do that. Hey, you recommend,
why not?
You recommend 75 twice a week? Well, I'm going to take 300.
Yeah, right. I'm going to take,
And these guys, both their partners reported that they're aggressive as well, too. So So is it safe? Probably. When people say this, there's a big study saying it's not, doesn't change that testosterone rage is bullshit. If you look at that, I recall, I think the study had less than 30 people in it, and I don't think that's
which is hardly, But that doctor thing right there is really what Ryan was talking about, and I think what a lot of people run into is like, I got one of the my impetus to go over to a concierge doc was like, I was always in this battle with my doctors about targeted supplementation, right? It's like, and their answers are never the same as like, they're never optimized answers. They're always don't die answers.
Yeah. Like, well, I want to optimize.
That's what I'm saying. Like but those are just like can't get an erection and can't maintain are 2 different groups of people. Like optimize and don't die are also 2 different things.
Yeah. And they also, frustrating thing in medicine, and I've been a doctor for a long time. Okay, Kara, can you give me the numbers? And they don't have the numbers. They usually don't have the numbers. They just heard it, and so it becomes the conventional wisdom, if you will. The testosterone, though, for women, though, because I prescribed it now or recommend it to 18, 19 women. That when that gets too high, guys, that's fun.
Yeah,
that's not a problem,
right? But I just did a Google search real quick just because I was curious. I don't know what, but reference for a 50-year-old male is 250 to 950, right? So if my doctor came to me and said, hey, we're going to be, and my T was, 200, I think that my old doctors would be like, hey, cool. We only need to get you up to 250. So let's, like, we'll just give you like a little dip.
And you're barely feeling anything.
And you're like, did this do anything? And then you don't stick with it. Or, I don't know, that feels like what most people get. Right.
Yeah. Well, in our pilot treatment project, our goal is going to be the 85th percentile or better.
Right. So you're going to be popping into like 850, 950, somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah. Right. Now, I honestly don't know what my T levels are off the top of my head, which is weird because I know a lot of weird facts about my body. I don't know that one.
It'll be in your app.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. And then what do you need a blood test? How often do you blood test for that?
We're going to do it every 3 months for the first year. And then every 6 months, afterwards.
Oh yeah. Gotcha. And is 3 months like an amount of time where meaningful change could occur?
Again, anecdotally, you need about 10 to 12 weeks in a man to release a benefit. In women, I'm seeing benefit. I'm talking about benefit on the sex side, because women need testosterone to maintain muscle and to maintain their bone health. That's a whole other profound value of testosterone for women. But on the sexual initiative side, it's like 2 weeks in women, and it's
oh, that's interesting. Why is it so much faster in women, you think?
I think they're more sensitive to testosterone.
More sensitive to it. Yeah, they don't normally have the same levels as men.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like who? What is this superpower?
I have people now confess to me they're doing it as a party drug. Often they're taking their husbands or their boyfriends' testosterone. It's a party.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, let's. How are they? How are they doing this, Doc? Exactly. Walk me through.
Well, listen, what people do recreationally on their own time.
Let's say a syringe accidentally hit my wife in the ass. How much would be in the syringe? Would it be 0.25?
Well, wait a minute. If it takes that long to take place, like what good recreation?
Are they pre-gaming a couple weeks out, or?
I mean, hey, we're going on holiday 2 weeks.
Right. Okay. So they'll prime the pump. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
You know, because they literally call the cream now. Remember, they said you can't let females touch the testosterone cream, and now they're calling it Scream Cream. And applying it right to their clit, which is kind of like, it's like you told them they would get hairy.
Yeah.
And now you're like all in.
You're like, rub it everywhere. Yeah.
Well, the three big side effects of women are body hair, pimples, and women are both concerned about those things. And, I know there's a woman that I prescribed it to. Well, she went online to get it, but I recommended a dose to her. And, she did get what she regarded as a recurrence of teenage body hair, female body hair. And women, when they're having that, when they're really hormones are pumping and when they're in the teens, they'll get a little hair around their nipples, maybe a little bit of hair, between their breasts, and they pluck it or they laser it. It's a. But she reported that, and then she says, "But I just lasered it off." Because the other benefit is I'm now initiating sex. I was initiating sex like once or twice a month. She's in her 60s, and now I'm initiating sex once or twice a week. That's for her marriage and her happiness.
Everything. Yeah. The benefit. Yeah.
Meanwhile, she's like, my husband now needs to get a prescription because he's not receptive.
Well, he's probably loving it. He's probably asking for more testosterone. I got to keep up.
Maybe he's got a low T and he's like, bitch, get off me. What the fuck? I don't know. It goes both ways. It seems.
Matt and Tom, you guys can have a competition with your wives.
Well, let's see.
Let's see.
That would be an irreverent conversation. Let's get your wives on test. How old are your wives?
47. Yeah.
So they're perimenopausal. By the way, they should know right now. Like not now,
they do. They do. We're both savvy to functional medicine, so we're not.
And are they taking anything?
Yes.
Injecting anything?
She's tried a couple things. Yeah, she's tried a couple things, and I think it's like one of these journey situations, right? Like everyone, you got to find out like that combination.
I don't find the creams having much of an impact on the blood level. It's only when the women go to injections that.
And you're saying specifically for testosterone, because I know progesterone, the best way is pill.
Pill, yeah, it's a pill.
Okay,
yeah. I'm just talking about testosterone.
Okay, yeah. And I gotta say, I worked with a company that did pellets. And
the painful pellets.
I did not enjoy that ride. I'll tell you, the compounding pharmacy that did the pellets, they switched, right? So they did my testosterone a few weeks, like 2-3 weeks after I had the first set of pellets. And I'm showing the doc and I'm literally going, look, they're all walled off. It looks like there's a cyst around them. They feel, I had these bumps in my ass. And then they go, I think you need a booster. They'd changed companies. So what had happened was when those got in, all 10 of those pellets started releasing at once instead of 5. And I screamed at one of the sweetest women who was technically my boss. And I think I said, I just read the dumbest fucking email I've ever heard. I don't know why you idiots are in healthcare.
It's a truth serum. Like I said, it's a truth serum.
Yeah. And then I hung up on her. And she took me to lunch. And I go, you're taking me to lunch? You're not firing me. She goes, no. And I go, you're going to tell me not to talk to you like that again? I go, yeah. And then I said, you guys have some methodology that's really fucked up. you gotta fix this because I've never had this much testosterone.
Right.
I was ready to punch people. Like, I mean, I looked at my wife once and I'm like, look, this is a public safety issue. We need sex now. Like, it was.
My buddy's on the pellets too, and he's actually been to the hospital 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, he's been to the hospital 3 times in the last 2 months because he thought he was having a heart attack. He's like,
yeah,
that's not right.
Absorption is too erratic and too uncontrolled.
Yeah.
Guys, unfortunately, I've got to.
Yeah,
wrap.
you got to
No
go,
worries.
man. Yeah,
all right,
thank you,
Doc. You know, just real quick, just tell us where to find you again, man.
Yeah, you can find us at myfirmtech, myfirmtch.com.
All right.
You can find me personally at Elliot, Elliot at myfirmtech.com. And my closing advice, if you're a man, put a ring on it.
Put a ring on it.
And follow your T.
Nice.
All right. Guys, enjoy. Thanks again. Yeah. Doc, hang out for 2 seconds. Make sure you're uploaded. Yeah. Otherwise, enjoy the weekend, guys. Later.
Thank you.
Be subversive, irreverent.
Health is wealth, but you knew that.
Everybody knows that.
But so is following us on social media at Irreverent Health. And check out our website for more exclusive content at irreverenthealth.com.
Oh, I like this.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Irreverent Health.